Yes, eyeshadow. Yes. Yeah. Hey you guys, it's your girl Desiree and I'm over here at Hey Desi back with another story time video, perhaps one of my favorite videos to do just because I be going through some things, and besides my friend circle, I don't get to tell these stories because they're just, some of them are just so ridiculous and I can't bring myself to tell the people in my circle. So I won't even do too much of an introduction because I want to get right into this story. This happened, and if you read the title, you're probably like, girl, what? This happened last year around August. Yep. It was in August of 2017. At this time, I was kind of hustling. Like, I was working. I had a few different jobs, but one of my main sources of income was this. It's hard to describe, so we're just gonna call it The Office. The Office. If you guys watch Naja on She's Voodoo Child, she calls her job, which is like a similar environment, Ratchet Core. But I don't have a whole series about The Office because I worked with them for a very short time. But in that short time, there were some crazy things. And was it a call center? There was a call center department. I didn't work in that department, and nor did this coworker that you read about in the title. She worked in the accounting department. I did kind of the financial part. So at The Office, it was small. It was a very small office, but we did a lot. We touched a lot of money on a day-to-day basis. The products we were a broker, so the products we were selling to people, they racked up. And I'm not going to go into too much detail on that. So I got hired at The Office in July, early July. And I was pumped because, the money wasn't bad. And, it was something that would not, bog me down, and I could do other things and continue to freelance. So at this time, it's peak season at The Office, and like I said, there is like a call center department. There's a customer service department at this broker firm where those folks, they do handle like the incoming and the outbound calls and all that good stuff. So this is peak season, because remember I said we're touching money. What we were brokering, we were a broker firm. It was a lucrative business, and we were putting our hands on some money. If you don't know what a broker is, we're kind of like the middleman. So we're selling a product that we're not physically touching to people who need it. So let's say I'm selling iPhones. I may never touch the phone, but I might be able to buy it from Best Buy or Apple or Walmart and sell it to you at a little higher price. So I can make a cut and Apple can make a cut on the iPhone. That makes sense. So during this time of The Office, July, June, August, summertime, they're having their peak season, and they are just hiring anybody to fill in seats. And that's probably why I was hired, who knows. So they're hiring everybody. If you claim you have a little bit of experience and you have a pretty semi-decent resume, you were hired. So I'm hired at this job. It's kind of interesting just because I had never worked in an environment like this before, but it was kind of cool because, it was laid back. I could wear like sweatpants and flip-flops every day. It was cool. So that was different because even though I do like to dress up, if I want to not dress up, that's cool that I didn't have to. So I'm new. I'm still kind of in training. The funny thing is, like I said, this is peak season, so many people are new. So the people that were training me they were pretty new too. They were hired like 3 weeks before I was, to be honest. So it's a very chaotic space. Now, over in the accounting department, they kind of had their thing on lock because, they're just calculating numbers and balancing checkbooks all day. So it's not that, chaotic over there. Like, they're calm, they're doing their thing, they keep their head down and just do their work, that type of environment. Now, there was one girl, she got hired around the time I got hired. I would say literally she got hired like a week after I did. And we are going to call her, she has a beautiful name, but just for the sake of her own anonymity, we're going to call this girl Camille. We're going to call her Camille. Why not? And so Camille was brand new into the accounting department. And like I just said, they keep their head down. They stay focused over there. It's not a loud crunk department. They're not doing the most. So Camille's kind of already stood out when she was coming into the office because she would do this thing where she would buy like a giant like giant vase of like sunflowers, like tall stem sunflowers. And you see her coming in from the parking lot up the elevator to our office. Was on the top floor of this building. This office, the office was on the top floor of this office building, if that makes sense. Like we had attorney offices and all that other stuff, but ours was on that top floor. So it was just a sight to behold. Like this girl was literally like balancing vases of these exquisite, beautiful, giant flowers. And so one week Camille came with roses, very long stem roses, not just a little Walmart bouquet, like the really long ones. So just to make small talk, she's a new girl, I'm a new girl, I was like, hey, like who's, just being funny. I was like, who's the man? Like your boyfriend is really doing that? And she was like, oh no, I buy these for myself. Would you want one? And I was like, okay, because I had noticed that a lot of people had roses on their desks, but I didn't think too much of it because I don't know what's going on in their departments, So apparently she's giving them to people. Anyone who kind of compliments, I guess she was trying to be nice too, she would give you a rose. So I took a rose, I was like, okay, this is it's a really long stem rose, gorgeous. So it sat there at my desk. And I kind of started feeling comfortable with her. If I had an issue with accounting on my end and I needed some help crunching numbers, because remember I was kind of in the finance department as well, but in a different space, she was like my go-to person because she was warm to me, so I was going to be warm to her. We can make this thing work. So like we kind of started building a rapport. Now Camille started getting really comfortable really fast. Like I told you from the get-go, she was bringing giant flowers. She was just getting really comfortable. She would bring like a giant tower fan because her side of the office was warm. My side was freezing, so it was weird. It was just the way the vents were situated. But I think the people over there, they just kind of like grinned and bared it. But she was like, she brought this big giant tower like Dyson fan and just had it set up. Like she got comfortable. So one day Camille comes over to my department and just to make small talk and just talk about things. And I noticed that she kind of had her eyes on a guy in my department. Now to describe how he looked, he was like tall, white, and handsome, if that makes sense. Like he was just fine. He was fine. Like he was buff. He had dark hair, crystal blue eyes. He was tall. He was like a country hunk. He was just a fine guy. It's not like I was checking for him like that. I guess Camille was, because she came over to my department. I thought she was coming to make small talk with me, but she was really coming to talk to this tall, white, and handsome dude that sat next to me in my department. And she just flat out asked him one day, look, I think you're sexy. I think you are so gorgeous. Can I give you my number? I would like to hook up with you one day, or at least go out on a date. And he was like, okay, I'll get back to you. I'll get back to you, like my phone. He was just making up some like BS excuse, like his phone was dead and he's in the process of changing his number and it's just a mess and he'll get back to her. So I thought that was a pretty clear sign that he's just not that into you, sis. But Camille was not having it. Like she was persistent. Like she would come over to our department all the time. She would send him messages. We had like an internal chat, like, is it a chat? I guess it's a chat. It's a Google Hangout anyway. It was like a Google Hangout, but I forgot what it was called. And she would just message him all the time, like flirting with him. And he was uncomfortable. So as a friend, I thought it was okay to tell Camille, like, hey, this tall, white, handsome boy that you have your little eyes on, he's just not that into you. And I don't want you to feel bad because he talks, he's not really fond of you. Because he would really trash her when she wasn't in the department. So she was just like, okay, well, F him, I'm on to the next one. Cool. And I love that spirit. Like, put your middle finger up, girl. It doesn't matter. So as the days were going on, the weeks were going on, I found myself getting closer to Camille, not really on my end, but on her end. She would just always approach me. And I'm not a mean person. Like, if you want to be friends with me, hey, let's be friends. She was a little quirky for my taste, but she was cool. So it wasn't that serious. So we got to the point where she would just like kind of invite herself over for my lunch. Now her supervisor was very lenient. Mine was not. So like honestly, if I was busy, I could not go to lunch with her, point blank. And her supervisor was kind of like, if you're hungry, go, as it should be. So she would invite me to lunch and I'm like, girl, my boss, she's just, she's being on that BS. She's not letting me go. Another time. So I think she kind of was like, whatever. this same boss of mine kind of had it out for me. Like, she would blatantly just change my schedule. Like, you gotta work the late shift, you gotta stay till 7, and that's the closing shift. Just like cramping my style. So this job that I had gotten kind of to be a supplement to my income, because it wasn't, you know, bothering my lifestyle, was beginning to bother my lifestyle. Like, I had to be so flexible to please this boss of mine, my supervisor. So, you know, I'm bummed about it. I'm the first night I stayed late. Now Camille stayed late too. That was her shift, 10 to 7. So now I'm on the 10 to 7 shift, and I'm bummed out. I'm not excited because I used to leave at 5, and this is annoying. Now there's another guy in our office. He worked in that call center side, like the customer service side, and we're gonna call him Jason. Now Jason was a very flirtatious guy, and if you, like I said, if y'all are familiar with She's Voodoo Child and her ratchet core stories, it seems like the one guy in these kind of settings is always like a magnet to women. He wasn't a catch to me, but just the fact that it was a testosterone in a black body, he was just attracting people. He was just kind of inappropriate for my taste, and like I said, it wasn't for me. Jason would always flirt with me, and I would kind of brush it off because it's not my cup of tea. But this evening, he saw that I was kind of like tensed up and just annoyed with my whole situation. So he was like, hey, you know what? Like, can I take you? He didn't even say, can I take you out? Let me be more straightforward. He was like, can we go out? Would you want to go out with me? Let's go out to somewhere after work. That will get your mind off of it. The 10 to 7 shift is not that bad. At least you don't have to be in rush hour traffic, yada, yada, yada. I was like, cool, because I was hungry anyway. Camille happened to be walking by, and she was like, oh, are we going out? Where are we going? I was like, I don't know, girl. Jason just asked me. I don't know. I don't care. So he was kind of uncomfortable. You could sense, remember with the tall, white, and handsome guy, Camille doesn't get social cues. That's not her strong point. I would have been like, oh, are y'all going somewhere? Where y'all going? And if they don't invite me, I know I'm not invited. Camille, as you see, she just invites herself to places. So I was cool with it because I didn't really want to be in a close space with Jason by myself anyway, because he was kind of extra. He was too flirtatious for me. So he was like, let's just go to the Buckhead Saloon. And if you're in Atlanta, you know where that is. He was like, let's just go to the Buckhead Saloon and pick up some wings. They have like 25 cents wings or whatever. So I was like, cool. Now I was trying to stall them because I didn't want to go anymore. Like, honestly, I just wanted to go home. I was so frustrated with having to work this shift, and I don't want to really be in a space with Jason like that. He's cool, but not that cool. And Camille, she's kind of too much for me too. So it's just like, I don't even really want to be here. I'm going to go home, take a shower, and try this thing again tomorrow. I ran some errands. They kept calling me. They were like, where are you? You're not here. We're at the restaurant. Let me not be a, just a complete jerk. Let me go. So I get to the restaurant. The two of them are seated. They have all this food spread out, and it seems casual. That made me feel more comfortable. I didn't feel like I'd be like in a weird situation. And so Camille was just like, man. Well, before I even get to that, I sat down, I ordered. I was like, what y'all eating? And we're talking. Now, there was a group of like frat boy looking people. They probably went to like Tech or Georgia State. I don't know. So they were all white, like real frat boy looking people. And like I said, this is not my cup of tea. So I'm here to eat and go home and just chill. Camille had her eye on these frat boys. She had her eye on them for real. So she was like, gosh, like, I just want to get laid tonight, honestly. Like, I just want to get laid. And I look over at Jason, and Jason looks over at me, and we're kind of like looking at each other like, that's kind of forward. But because this is Camille, and I've gotten to experience this with how she was with that guy in my department, I wasn't too taken aback, but he was kind of like. So she walked over there, and she asked, I don't know if she asked them specifically, hey, when do y'all want to get laid? But she was like trying to chat them up, that kind of thing. And I think she finally caught on to some social cues and realized that, okay, they're not feeling me. So she came back bummed to the table. She's like, oh, everybody's so lame, like complaining. And I was just like laughing because it was so funny to watch. So then she pulled out this giant bag Ziploc bag out of her book bag and was like, I want to smoke. Do y'all want to? Like, I want to light this bong up. I don't want to. I don't smoke. Jason, he smokes, but he only smokes cigarettes. So we were like, we're not interested. She's like, oh, you guys are so lame. I'll be back. I'm going to the bathroom and I'm going to roll up and I'll be back. I was like, cool. So we're eating, and Jason was just like, yo, bruh, this girl is getting to be too much. Like, I am so uncomfortable. you gotta change the topic, because she was flirting with me before you came in. I was so that's why I kept hitting you up, like, I can't be with her in the same space. I was like, she's just like that. She's very flirtatious. She's not a problem. You know, if you don't want it, tell her and she'll move on. He was like, nah, bro, like, you don't know, like, she's really doing the most. Like, she was like really being extra and making me super uncomfortable. So I was just like, okay, I'll make sure I try to be like that buffer whenever she says something that's kind of like off, so you're not too put on the spot. So when she came back, she had smoked in the bathroom. She came back and she was like, "Ooh, I feel much better," you know, yada yada yada. She's like, "But dang, I'm horny." So I knew that Jason had already explained that he was uncomfortable, so I tried to change the subject. I was like, "Girl, I'm tired. I can't even relate. I just want to go home." She was like, "I gotta get something tonight. I gotta get that D tonight." And I was like, "Okay, girl, you know, do you. All power to you, sis." And then she was like, "I mean, Jason, like, you're so hot. Like, you're so hot. Like, would you be down?" And I was joking. I was like, "Shoot, I'll pay to watch that." You know, not being real. She's like, "I'm so serious, Jason. Like, we can make this happen." And I was like, I almost said her real name. I was like, "Camille, sis, like, girl, what are you talking about? We're at a bar." She's like, "I mean, we can go right here in that back alley and just make this happen." I was like, Jason was uncomfortable. Like, oh my goodness, if looks could kill, I would be dead right now. He was peering at me like, you basically like, you promised you would help in these kind of situations. I was like, y'all are crazy, but I'll pay to watch that, because that would be a movie. And she was like, "You know what? I really want to do, like, I want to do something tonight with both of y'all. Like, are y'all down? Desiree, are you down?" And I was just like, I was so shook, you guys. Like, I did not see that coming. I've never, like, given this girl any cues that would make her think that I was even remotely interested in having a threesome with her and my coworker, my other coworker. And he didn't give her any cues that he was interested in sleeping with her. He was flirting with me, but he was not flirting with her. And I knew something was up, because, like, when I got there, I was wearing the dress I wore to work. And he was like, "Oh, you're just so gorgeous." And she was like, "I wish somebody would tell me I'm gorgeous. Jason, tell me I'm gorgeous. Tell me I'm gorgeous." So, I mean, the cues were there, but like I said, Camille is so extra. You don't know if she's joking or how serious she is. Oh, she was that serious. I was like, and I keep almost saying her name. I was like, "Camille, what?" She was like, "I mean, I am so horny. Like, that would be so hot, just the three of us." I did not understand what to do. I've never been in this situation. I've never been asked for a threesome. I was so confused, and I'm like, "Girl, you're a coworker. Like, that would be ridiculous. Like, you know what the answer is. It's no. Like, why are you keep setting yourself up?" Like, she keeps setting herself up with people that she knows have no interest in her. I don't get it. So it got real awkward, but I tried my best, because it's not that serious. You know, we're still adults at the end of the day. I was 25. She was 26. Jason was 31. We're grown. I mean, we're not kids. So I was just like, let me not do the most and just make her feel too awkward. So I mean, we eventually did change the subject. And after that, I was pooped. I was ready to go home and rest. I went home. Funny enough, they went to another bar together after that one. And I asked Jason the next day, I was like, "So, homeboy, what happened between y'all? Because you made it seem like you were about to jump out of your skin being next to this girl, and y'all still went to the bar." And he was like, "She basically just tagged along, and he just wanted to keep drinking, so it was whatever." And I mean, that's the story of how a coworker of mine asked me, Desiree, for a threesome. That threw me off, all the way off. I've only told one person this before this video, because it was just so much. Like, it was a lot, sis. But y'all tell me if y'all have ever been in a weird predicament like that with a coworker. I don't believe in even dating my coworkers, and that was actually what I told Jason before this whole outing, when he was like always trying to like talk to me. And he actually, when I left the job a few months later, he actually called me and pretty much was confessing his love for me and just talking about how attractive he thought I was and how he just really wants to get to know me on that level, and that he remembers me saying that I don't date coworkers. But even still, I wasn't interested in him regardless. But I was just like, you know what, I'm not in that space right now. I'm not even up to date, but I appreciate you reaching out. But nah, like, I don't believe in dating or sleeping with coworkers. I feel like that can get extremely messy, and no way, no mas. It's not for me. But like I said, let me know if something like that's ever happened to you. Share your stories. I would love to hear them. That was the craziest thing that had ever happened to me at that job, for sure. And I don't think anything topped that, honestly, because it just kind of came out of nowhere. Thank you guys for tuning in. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the notification bell. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down if you didn't like it. Comment, let me know. Hit me up on social media. Let's get this thing popping. I have so many more stories for you guys. Y'all would not believe it. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye. Shoot, baby. What did you? Someone cannot play with you. Is that how you used to do? Okay, do. I went in your school.